Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
see. Can I only host can share in the meeting? Could you allow me to share that?
Yeah,
Share
yeah.
the screen? Then let me open the case from my phone.
Let me figure that out really quick. One participant advanced sharing options. Who can share? All participants. Okay. Great. I think it should work now. Wow, that was brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I will give you a short break, and there's a lot of things to go back to review, and I
Okay.
think that will be really helpful for you
Yeah.
to
That took about an hour and 15 minutes too.
yes, it's let me share my screen, share the screen. Uh
Wow.
screen? No, I mean it's can no, it did
No, I
let
can't
me
quite
see
see
how
it.
to share.
Wow.
Oh, I got it. Share screen. Yeah. Yeah. So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see the screen though.
Can you see the screen?
No, I can't. I can't. Not yet.
You
Can I
cannot?
I can pull up the case on my end. Yeah. What is the case called?
Oh yeah. Here.
Okay, great. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Can you see it right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Great. Let me put out to here is the case. It's alpha aviation, and let me do and let me go through that so in a chronicle order. So the first, let's say about the open. First off, it's a McKinsey style, and you can tell this is quite different from the previous one that we did. So the McKinsey style, they dump into a lot of information, and you state a structure, and they don't really care about the structure, and they will direct you to the way that they want to explore, and but still they are reviewing how you think about the problem in a comprehensive way. So let's start with the opening. So you ask about goal, that's good, and you know, and you ask about the current profit margin, customer, product. I mean that's okay, but the you but given that you know the key problem is the profitability is going down, and so I think usually come along with the profitability problem. It's usually helpful to ask how long this trend uh has been experiencing. So probably it just for it's maybe a 1 year thing. So I mean that could lead to some, you know, like COVID, some special events that cause a profitability problem. And also if that profitability has been decreasing for quite a while, so this may be a time you need to strategic move to turn around the profitability. And also it's really important to ask, is it happening to the other competitors? How about the industry? Does our peers also experience the profitability problems? And you can see that you can see the how is the rest of the airline industry performing. So from this piece of information will, you know, I mean, I won't say that will be help a lot in this case specifically when you are tackling them, but it show you have the insight to you know to digest how the why the profitability where the profitability problem comes from. What's the root cause of the problem? Is it from our own problem, or is it, you know, is it in industry wide problem? So yeah, that might change your structure a little bit, right? Hello, can you hear? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, great. And then moving on, so for the structure, so you have a three bucket. So one is financial overall profit. And in this part, I think you're very strong. So you ask, so you talk about the revenue and talk about the cost, and you break them into a very detailed and tailored way. So you talk about ticket, food, beverage, and that's specific to the airline industry. So that show you you're tailored to you're tailored to this specific case. And the second bucket is market and industry as a whole. So it's I think so. So for the market industry, and you question about so what is happening in the industry, their history and current, and then you talk about some customer and product things. I mean, those are the ways to improve profitability, right? So you talk about we may want to redesign the product. I mean, it's okay, but I mean, first thing is not perfect, Missy, but I think that's tolerable. It's just not perfect, Missy, but that's if you could do a perfect Missy, that'll be absolutely outstanding. But if not perfect Missy, but almost Missy, but I think that's also okay.
Okay.
And but the
Yeah.
but the problem is so in this bucket, I think it's not that specific. So for customer, you talk about leisure and business, that's good. But except for that, so other things about the market trends, so the new product, why fall behind, so that's quite generic. If you want your framework, you want to shine, you want to stand out, be specific, be tailored to this problem, to our client, to this industry. And then moving on, it's the I mean the third bucket I think is the most trouble one. So you want to discuss ways to increase the profitability, and you give two ways. One is organic and the other is inorganic. So organic is you say new product, inorganic you say you want to do some investment M&A things.
Oh
But
yeah.
these two are not ways to improve profitability,
It's
right?
not, yeah.
I mean that's the ways to improve growth. So you how to grow? There are two ways to grow. I mean these are not so these are not the ways to tackle profitability problems. So if you want to improve profitability, it's either so find ways to improve the revenue or find ways to decrease the cost. These are only two ways. So yeah, so organic, inorganic, that's not quite relevant to this case. And also, even though this problem is about tackling the growth problem, organic, inorganic, I mean, within the bucket is not very tailored, not very specific, right?
Yeah.
And so then that's
Yeah, that was one bucket. Yeah.
yeah. So then moving forward, I mean, you're great. You ask about we want some more financial metrics to tackle down what the root cause of the profitability problems. So that's good. And then they don't care about your structure, and they dumped a two exhibit. So for the exhibit 1 and 2, I think there are several problems. So I mean, I will skip the part that you're doing good. I'm just focused on the part that you need to improve to
Yeah.
it's we want to improve, right? So let's focus on the improve parts. So for the exhibit 1 and 2, um so I mean these two exhibit is analysis exhibit. It's not math exhibit.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. That's what I was
but
thinking too. Yeah.
so and I don't know what, and you start to do the math, and I don't know why you do the math. And if you really want to do the math, then you better state your rationale beforehand. So why you want to do the math, what you want to get, and how that piece of information will help you drive the case, will help you solve the problems.
Yeah.
So if you
This is just so simple. It's just, oh, I see these routes now. They're, they all have pros and cons. Well, what's the tickets, So well, how much does it cost? Yeah.
I mean, I mean, yes and no. So for the exhibit 1 and 2, I mean, the purpose of these two exhibits is you need to do you need to do some strategic analysis. Let me know what conclusion could you draw from the two exhibits,
Yeah.
and you start to do the math. I mean, I won't say that will be wrong. I mean, that would be wrong from for sure. But you need to state rationale why you want to do the math. I mean, what kind of information you are drawing from doing the math. I mean, I don't. I mean, it's not very clear. So what you do the math to calculate the like how many passengers, right? And we don't even know the seat filled rate, and we don't know the ticket. So I mean, just I mean for I mean just I think there are several steps to tackle down the exhibit. The first is so what kind of conclusion could we draw from the exhibit? And the second is how this information, I mean, related to our big pictures. And then third, moving on. So what other information that I would like to explore, right? So that's might be the three steps. So I'm not sure how MCO suggests, but you need some kind of you need some reason to moving forward. Not you. So for the exhibit, I feel like you jump from A to B to C to D. You jump everywhere, and I don't know where to follow. And don't know I cannot anticipate what's your next
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
And it's always helpful to structure your thought. So
Yeah.
structure your thought not only limited to the framework part, but also in the exhibit analysis. So what's your structure? So first I would like to uh so analyze the first exhibit and second exhibit and overall that was and for next step blah blah blah. So then you could give me a map. So where how to follow your logic. And so that is the what's your structure, right? And
Yeah.
the second is this is analysis exhibit. And if you really want to do the math, and please let me know what is the rationale behind
Yeah.
the calculation. And then it come with some detail part is, and you just drop the conclusion. So so you do some analysis and you figure out that NY to DC is a great route. But the very important things, so almost all analysis, almost in all case, it need to a quality of factors and quantity factors. And there's no quantity factors here. I mean, those are information you need to ask to moving forward to make a final recommendation. So actually, there is from the current information, you cannot tell which route is the best. There are pro and con for each route. So I need more information. I need to look into factor XYZ to make a sound recommendation. I mean, that's the way you drive the case. So you cannot make I mean, that's a premature suggestion to conclude that NY2DC. I mean, you could rephrase that, and you could still say that, and that show you have instinct. So, from the current information, I guess I might be want to consider NY2DC first, but I also need to look factor XYZ. So take into account some financial factors to make a solid recommendation. So do you have any information on that? So you could still say that, but you need to know that's, I mean, that is not a final recommendation, but you say that as if, I mean, that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
this is not good.
Yeah.
And then so within the exhibit 1 and 2 in this analysis part, and you did not initiate to ask about financial data, and you did not do a so what part. So you did not link the analysis to the big picture. So the big
Which was
picture is
that
you want
like?
to solve the profitability problem, want to increase profitability, right? And you didn't mention the profit, the words even one time during the whole analysis in the exhibit 1 and 2. So yeah, so it's and then moving forward, so for the I mean, that's all for the exhibit 1 and 2. So in short, it's I think it's for exhibit 1 2, this is expect to be a very short and quick one, but you
Yeah.
take around 10-15 minutes to do the
Yeah.
analysis.
Maybe even 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yes, it's short. It I mean, if you do a short one, so you could drop out some insight and say there are pro and con. We need more information to get a conclusion. And what else? And then moving on is the exhibit 3 and 4. So I mean, this is the part. I mean, you took over 30 minutes to tackle this part, and some great part is so in five, and so you know you keep remember there are 3 year payback period, right? And so that's good things. And the second is when you do the calculation, you find out the round number one is good, but you did not give a very strong recommendation. I mean, there are two ways you can do. Either you pick one and give a really strong recommendation why the number one is great, or you could do, oh, the three routes, they all have their pro and con. Even though it's the number one financial is good, but so depend on the customer strategic plan. So you can do both, but you need to be very sure about what you recommend. So you recommend number one, but it's kind of yes, number one, but so this is I don't think this is ideal in the interview. And for the exhibit 3 and 4, I have to say you took a long time to figure out what is the problem, right? The problem is calculate the profitability. So the problem is calculate the profitability, and then how to calculate the profitability.
Yeah, how
and
to.
yeah, and how to, and then it comes with your structure. So it take, these two steps both took you very long time. You didn't realize the problem is to calculate profitability, because you after you look into the data, you jump straight into calculating the initial investment. You start to calculate the initial investment right away. But why you want to calculate the initial investment, right? So it's, so first you need to understand the scope of the problem and what is the problem, and then second, so what is the structure and how you want to tackle the problems. So now I need to calculate profitability, and then so if I want to calculate profitability, so from the exhibit 4, I could get to know the profit per ASM for the field seat. And then and then and then so you got so from this from the 4 exhibit 4, you get the profit
Payback
per
period.
ASM.
Yeah.
And then you need to calculate ASM, right? So to calculate, so it's so for your structure, and I keep directing you and pushing you to state what is your structure, how you want to calculate the problems. And you can see that the CM is a financial term. It's called the contribution margin. So it's the operation margin. So it's just the profit by just operating this line. And so you can see this is a naturally very clear algebra algebra equation. So CM, so let's say that's a profit per ASM. So then how to calculate profit? You need to multiply the ASM, right? ASM multiple profit per ASM, and then we got the profit. But you put all the number together. So it's really hard for me to follow your structure, and also hard for me to figure out where you get it wrong. So you calculate the number of seats, average field, and then the instance, and you multiply the flights per day, you multiply the flights per year, and then you put them all together. So structure is a map to solve the problem, and structure is a way to cut the big problem into small pieces. And because that is so, it, especially for this kid, I feel so I feel kind of I really wish you could come up. Oh, I need to calculate ASM first and multiply the profit per ASM, and then I got the profit per flight, and then I could multiply the number of the flights per year.
ultimately get.
Yeah, and then you could state your number clearly. And also a thing, it's a minor thing, but you ask about how many days per year. I mean, usually, right? Usually the flights operate every day, so they might have some day off, but usually it's reasonable to take like 365 days
Mm.
as an estimation. You
They
and
said at the end 300, like
yeah, it is 300, but that's kind of
yeah,
um a basic facts.
yeah,
You really, I mean, you could start your assumption. So I'm not sure how we plan to operate. What's the frequency we plan to operate the airlines? But could we suppose that fly every day and take the 360 for the estimation, and maybe the interviewer will give you the number, so you can take the 300 for math.
Mhm.
Simple.
Yeah,
So you ask how many days per year. I mean, this is kind of, you waste some time to, I mean, that's kind of a minor thing, but it's still and it's also another thing, it takes a lot of time for you to figure out is the exhibit 4. So what is per ASM, what is per field seat. I know it's really, for me it's really confusing to read. I mean, on the top,
yeah,
on top headline is per ASM, and on the other it's a per field seat, so I don't know what is the, but there is a way you can do a reality check, right? So it's at the very beginning, you think that the 1 cent is the revenue, it is the profit per seat. I mean, that's
Mm.
doesn't,
yeah. That's good.
that
Yeah,
that is not
fine.
impossible, right? So if you
Yeah.
can only earn 1 cent for one field seat, I mean, they're gonna go bankruptcy.
So we
So
gotta
there,
multiply by the miles.
yeah, so there must be something wrong, and you could, and actually you could, I mean, so for super excellent candidate, I think they could tell. So they could figure out themselves. Oh, they do the
Yeah,
reality
I
check.
mean, I mean,
Yeah,
I could tell right away, like the, the 0.12, the revenue minus cost, that would give the profit. And so that was a pretty clear, like what to do. But then like the per filled seat, the ASM, and ultimately structuring what my approach was, I just was all over the place, completely all over the place. Like, yeah, I really should have taken a second to be like, well, what's my approach here? I want to calculate, profit per ASM, and I have ASM. I calculate ASM and calculate profit per ASM. That would give profit. Yeah, yeah. And I'll also, yeah, anyway, yeah, it's just all over the place. Yeah, and
and
then
and continue with the brainstorm part.
Mhm.
It's like it is kind of like the in the real interview, it won't give you a second to,
Yeah, I
and
remember.
they may want to cut you, in the middle of when you're speaking, so they just want
Yeah.
to push you to see your limitation of
Hmm.
your innovation, right. So I do that for purpose. So I mean, you come up with really great brainstorm ideas, and you start with a customer value proposition, right? So I mean, that's a really great business increment. So you start a question. So yeah, if you want to attract more business travelers, so what they value is convenient, what they value is better service, and you offer that, like the you can see here the revenue based loyalty program. That's the perks, right? Financial perks, loyalty program points, and some you know some in-flight amenities like a Wi-Fi, entertainment, seats, etc. And also it's the I mean, you did mention the flight structure, but you mentioned the improved service. So improved service, so
Yeah, it's
like
not
free
bad, but
cancellation.
yeah.
So and but you know
Yeah.
what, there's one thing, it's really, it would be really great to consider, so which is the promotion. So you, it's basically all you what, so the three bucket you analysis, the amenities, the structure, service, the finance. I mean, they're all the ways to to make your product better, right? Make your service better, and to show that you can serve your target customer segment, which is business traveler, better, so to fit their value proposition. But if you want to attract more customers, you may want to consider a 5P framework, which is product, price, promotion, place, and people. So promotion is super important. So which come with the external like partnership. You may want to cooperate with the corporate, and you may want to like do micro influencer some effective distribution channel to reach out to your target target customers. So even though you have an excellent product, if you don't tell them you have a great product, they will not know.
Like a marketing or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So you, I mean, so for the marketing part, so once you got the ideas you want to promote this product, and you can think about there's a 5P framework. You may have heard about that: product, price, promotion, place, and people. So you don't have to mention all of them, but that's a when an interviewer is keep pushing you, so what's next, what's next, what's next, and you could, I mean, that's a lever that you could pull, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's the, yeah.
And yeah, finally is the conclusion. It's not nothing special, so I didn't put too much.
Yeah.
It's it's actually the recommendation. No clear right answer, so
Yeah.
just state one and with strong backup. I think you did a really good job. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. This was a great case to do. These exhibits just completely effed me. Yeah, I mean, it just, yeah, the first two exhibits, yeah, pro and cons, and then, oh, we got some information about the routes, but and then that I really could have taken 5 minutes, and then I completely was all over the place with the calculations, like all over the place. I mean, just making a table would have been so helpful. And just would you structure my thinking, it's just be incredible. But I was just all over the place, all over the place. Yeah. Okay. I think, oh, Ellen, are you there?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you just put your phone down. Yeah, I think it would be really good if I did this case again on my own. Now that I know, because yeah, this was brutal. This was really brutal. I mean, the math for, on the exhibit 5, the math is, oh, yeah, this math was pretty hard. And I got the number wrong too for Route 3. So, yeah. Yeah, I got the number wrong. Route 3 is just not good. I mean, the payback period would have been over 3 years. Oh, wait, yeah, it would have been over 3 years. So Route 1, yeah, yeah. Yeah, this was brutal.
I have wrapped up my notes and sent it to you already.
Thank you
So
so much. Yeah.
yeah, I have to go actually.
Yeah,
So
thank you. I know we're way over. Yeah, thank you, Ellen.
this is a
Oh,
really great practice for both of us, I think.
yeah, this is an eye opener, but yeah. So, anyways, I know you gotta go, so I don't want to keep you. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
I'll see you on Friday, or we'll stay in touch. But Friday, yeah, Friday's
But
fine.
you know what, Stephen, you're at this moment you're really strong in the brainstorm part and some
Yeah,
really good business acumen, and it's really real world related. So and yeah, I think it's just the exhibit and calculation. If you can do that in a more structured way, and you will be awesome.
yeah. Just structuring those two.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely But anyways, I know
great.
you gotta go. I really don't want to keep you, but yeah, I'm gonna do this on my own, and then we'll talk
Sure.
about yeah, and just let me know about next session, but no rush. It's on Friday anyways. So
Great.
yeah.
Take
Okay.
care. Okay.
See you,
Bye bye.
Ellen. Bye. Bye. Oh, I'm sharing.